and welcome back to the Real Sisters Real Estate Podcast. This is Chrissy Curtis, and I'm with Berkshire Hathaway, the Bob and Rana Group. I'm with my sister Jules. Jules, how's it going?
Good, and I'm with Century 21 Jackson Hole. Yeah, things are going really good. Things are warmed up. It was almost 70 yesterday. I got a lot of stuff done around the house. Got the Christmas lights taken down. Don't judge.
No judging. Christmas in July, and it's fine.
It sounds judgy.
It is what it is. And no judgment. No judgment. Most time people get them down by January 5th, But you guys do you. It's Wyoming. It's different style life, right?
Well, yeah, you have to wait for the snow to melt before you can even like reach the lights, because everything gets buried. So, but they're down and the house
Oh.
is looking good. So,
Things are good here. Things are getting warm as well. It was like 80 degrees today, so things are looking good for on our side too. You want to get into some news
sure.
you can
Let's get
use?
into our T-Bor market update. We have a current days on market of 140 for our residential and 218 for our building sites. So a little tick down there. Good to see. We have 991 active listings, 67 new listings, 33 went pending, and 38 sold. So, continuing to see that upward trend that we kind of started seeing a couple weeks ago. So, I think it's safe to say we are into our spring market, which is fantastic news. We have been waiting quite some time.
Yes, you have. You have. We've been talking about the possible thaw for a while, so that is good news. Christmas lights are down, market is up. Woo! Around here, same type of thing. Current days on the market is still 17. We've been that way for 3 weeks. Active units is up exactly 100 units, so that's good. More inventory is what we need. And our pending number is up about 15% as well. So that's good. More inventory, more under contract. And then our closed compared this week from last year, we're actually up again. So the second time since we've been doing this podcast. So that is good news all around. So trending upwards. In national news, the interest rate is still around 7. It's hovering at 7.36, so up just a tad from last week. And then just doing a little bit of digging around for different things. I was looking at an article on Redfin about home prices, median home prices in each state. I just thought it was interesting. I was trying to do it by location, like north, south, east, west, that kind of thing, but it was broken down by state. So the median price tag in Ohio is the lowest at 228,000. And then of no surprise, California has the highest at 793,600, and Hawaii is right behind that at about 710. I actually thought it was funny that Hawaii was less expensive than California, but from what we can see from California, everything is very expensive out there. So thought I'd share that, just a little bit of tidbit of knowledge. So Ohio, watch out. All the millions of people that listen to this podcast are going to be flocking there.
That's right. They can take their remote work with their decent salaries and buy a cheap house. I'm not sure what's in Ohio. I've never been there. I
Me neither. It's only like a 4-hour drive from here, but I've never made the trek. Never had a reason
It's
to.
definitely longer to go from here, but, yeah, no,
Well, duh.
it's longer.
You know, it is longer. Enough said. So you won't be making that trip anytime
No.
soon.
M moving
No.
right along, Chrissy, you got some news from the big
Moving.
dogs.
I do. Our news from the big dogs today is actually from Better Homes and Gardens because the news from the big dogs is boring. It's lame and no one likes it. So it's depressing at this point. So we're going to talk about outdoor living trends. It's getting warm, like we were saying. So I wanted to look up some outdoor trends. It's funny how the pandemic is feeding into so many different areas of our life these days, even with the pandemic gone. outdoor spaces are becoming more important to the individual families and things of that nature. So, this comes from Better Homes and Garden. Like I said, luxury additions and upgrades are on the rise. Homeowners are approaching outdoor spaces with the same care as interior design these days. Design minded customers appreciate beautiful, timeless, and functional pieces that will stand the test of time, in addition to standing up against the elements. One of the first ones is high quality investment pieces. So people are looking for outdoor furniture that will last through their winter season and just the the rain and whatever else is coming their way. So they say to look for materials like teak wood, powder coated aluminum, concrete, and premier wicker and rattan. These are all will stand up next to the climate. I know I purchased a piece of furniture for my outdoor, spent a lot more than I normally would because I thought it was going to be a good purchase, and it was absolute shit. It fell apart the first winter that we had it covered and outdoors. So I was not happy the next spring when I pulled it pulled it out. It just a little
That
disintegrated. So
sucks.
um yes, I did not it sucks. It was expensive too. I was not happy. And honestly, since then I bought nothing but cheap shit because I'm like, if it's all gonna fall apart, so I might as well just get the cheap stuff that looks good. Ooh, sorry.
Good grief. No need to get that upset about it.
God damn it. As you can see, I'm still bitter. The next one is smart homes. So, smart home features for outdoor rooms. They are saying that entertainment walls are on the rise and they're in popularity because people are spending more time outside. So, they're adding the TVs and things of that nature, and able to add the TVs. You have to obviously have to have the power, so people are also adding security outside with it. So they're including outdoor cameras, motion sensors, and smart locks.
Yeah,
Um,
that all makes sense. Oh, yeah,
Makes sense.
absolutely.
Yeah. And then this one is no surprise, bringing the design elements both inside and out. So surfaces will be playing a key role in bridging interior and exterior spaces. They're trying to essentially bring a cohesive look. So using the same type of material inside and out. One of the things that they mentioned is called centered stone. I had not heard of this. I actually had to look it up and see what it was. It is another type of engineered stone, so like your engineered quartz, but this stone is more eco-friendly. It doesn't have as many toxins in it. So they're using this from anything from surfaces inside, like your countertops, from pavers to patios to even fire pits. So I thought that was a nice find. Luxury upgrades, of course. Everyone is trying to do the outdoor kitchen, over the top fire pits, walkout patios, those kinds of things. That's not anything new, in my opinion. Outdoor kitchens are amazing. Folding walls to truly connect the space. So it's actually a big glass wall. I want to do this in my house, a big glass wall where you just push it to the side and it seamlessly transitions from indoor to outdoor. Like we have a screened in porch. I would love to just do one big glass wall. You just slide the whole thing to the side and then it's one big room. So basically bringing them both together, making it a nice cohesive space. And then the last one was adding greenery for living energy. So they're talking about greenery walls, adding more plants and different things. Instead of fences, you could do a greenery wall instead. They said that the living walls are very hotel inspired trend in the outdoor living spaces.
Mhm.
I have seen these. I am all about it. I love them. I love them indoor. I love them outdoor. And the more plants, the better for me. I just think it's fabulous. So, just a few things I wanted to share, that it's not boring and that people can actually use. It's that time of year where you're gonna start going out in your garden and playing around within your outdoor spaces. It's too nice to just sit inside. So I wanted
No,
to share that.
absolutely. It's a great little article, and I love the green walls. I think they're so cool. I see them all the time. They're all over the DIY networks, and they're all over them. And yeah, no, it's definitely the time. We were just Marcus and I must be trending because we were just talking yesterday, like, oh, we're gonna redo the back of our yard. And I was like, let's put a little fire pit in and just a little place you can go out there. We have fantastic sunsets. And I was like, we can go out there, have a beer or cocktail with our little fire pit. Definitely need that because as soon as the sun drops, it gets chilly even in the summer.
It does. Been there, done that. It does. Sweatshirt immediately.
Yeah, yeah, definitely do. But yeah, I love that. So good to know that we're trenders.
You are trending. I mean, you and Marcus just ahead of the
I,
curb at all
I don't
times.
know that trender is a real word, so we might not be trending that hard.
Very true. And you just took down your Christmas lights. So but you're right. You're on the right path, Jules. Maybe you guys could look into that centered stone and see what that's all about. If that will stand the elements out there, that might be something that might
Yeah,
be worth
absolutely. I
looking
mean,
into.
you need stuff very, very durable out here because we have some extreme -20 temperatures. So things need to be very, very durable when you're thinking of gardens and things out here. Always keep that in mind.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. But yes. So it looks like you have a pretty good story for us for what would you do? You want to go ahead
I
and
do. Our
introduce it?
story is from Ron Howard, and he's from Baltimore, so your neck of the woods here. He
Whoop, whoop.
says, during my first year of business, I got a call from a bar owner that wanted to buy a house that was listed just right next door to his bar. The terms were worked out, and the buyer just needed help because he hated the seller of the house and who was also a real estate agent. I helped him get the house under contract, and a week later, when we got to the house to do the home inspection, it felt like a scene from the movie Backdraft. We opened the door and were greeted by a big cloud of smoke. The house was on fire.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
It
Scary.
gets worse.
Oh my.
Ev- Evidently, the gas fireplace wasn't installed properly, so we had to dial 911. 5 fire trucks later, they put the fire out, and it took 3 months to repair the damage. So we thought. No one realized that the firefighters were putting out the fire. They poked a bunch of holes in the roof, and it rained for 5 days before our final walkthrough. When we got to the house, water was pouring out of all of the light fixtures and the main level and streaming down the wall. We heard
Oh my gosh.
we heard the seller on the phone telling someone he had to plug the leaks before the buyer got there for the walkthrough. Uh-oh, busted.
Totally busted. Sketchy Baltimore shit right there.
What?
What the hell?
What the
What
actual
the
fuck?
hell?
Who would do that?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Just slap some magic seal on it, we'll be good.
Just need some Flexi Seal. Where's the guy in
Exactly.
the where's the
Good
guy
as
in the
new.
blue shirt?
Oh, okay, go ahead. What a mess.
The water damage only took 2 months to repair, and we came back through for our final walkthrough again. The first stop we made was on the roof to make sure the holes were properly patched. We all got off the roof and worked our way down to the flights of newly carpeted steps until someone realized that we were tracking roof tar destroying the new carpet.
Oh my gosh.
Thankfully, my carpet guy came out there fast and removed the tar before it was set. We closed a few days later and should have predicted the full out brawl we almost had at the settlement table. Thank God for easy deals.
Oh my god. That was super smooth. I'm, like, thinking about Baltimore commissions, I'd be like, "No, let's move
I
on."
mean,
Like the
yeah, no, I don't- may, he did mention that he really hated the seller, so maybe he just wanted him out of there.
maybe. Oh, well, okay, so it's the owner of
Mhm.
the bar that wanted that seller out, right? Okay, I missed that part of the story. Got it. Yes, that must be what it was. What
Yes,
a nightmare.
it is quite an ordeal. Um, Yeah,
Oh my
it reminds me I was at, I forget where I was, but I was at a place with my friend who's a real estate agent. She got a call and she was like, "Wait, what? What's going on?" the seller her buyers called her and was like, we just noticed on I guess they saw it on Facebook on the newspaper that their house caught on fire, that they were under contract in."
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's horrible. I've had people die during the deals, which is
Yeah.
horrible as well, but never anything on fire, knock on something.
Yes.
Goodness. Oh, that's horrible. So that that deal went up in flames. Oh, I'm a horrible person. Well, everyone was safe, right?
Everyone was safe, but the deal certainly went up in flames.
Yes, it did. And I will say that from the sounds of this house that poor Ron had to deal with, that house sounds like it might have been better off going up in flames, but, it looks like they salvaged everything and it's good. So, um, I might have to reach out to Ron and make sure I know who the other agent is on the other side who's plugging holes without thinking
What
that anyone
the
would notice.
hell? Like,
Crazy.
wow. Like, that to me
That is
was just
Baltimore.
mind-blowing.
Ba
I was like, "Who?" Thank God it rained.
Right? Thank God it rained. Otherwise, how would you know? And I mean, I don't know anything about fires, but why would they poke holes? There's
I don't know.
obviously a reason for the heat to
I don't
escape.
know.
I don't know. I've never even seen the movie
No, me
Backdraft.
either, and I thought to myself, "Gosh, if anyone's younger than us listening, they'll never get that reference."
No.
Luckily, most of the people are old like us.
Our
It's
mom will
it's just
understand.
uh,
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, good job, Ron. You got it to the table and way to persevere. You wanna get into our reality show breakdown?
Sure, let's get into it. We watched Million Dollar Listing, LA, episode 9 of season 14, Commission Omission. So we'll just dive into the thick of this. The commission omission is Flag and Bobby's co-listing really blows up badly. Poor
For
Flag.
flag, yes.
It's real bad. Bobby
Yeah.
brings the buyer. So
Mhm.
someone calls on a co-listing. Bobby brought the buyer, set up the whole deal behind Flag's back, took the whole buyer commission plus his half of the listing commission. Like, eek. That is not something you would normally do when you're co-listing. If you get a call on the co-listing, you normally split both commissions, buyer and seller. But I guess Flag didn't have it in writing and Bobby ran with it.
And, flag didn't catch it. I don't know how you don't catch an offer being presented to your seller, but I guess Bobby had permission to bring the offer to the seller as well. So, super shady. They're going through a divorce. Not surprising. Divorce is ugly. I even amicable
Mhm.
divorces are ugly. It just doesn't matter. And there's a lot of hostility and bitterness there, and you can definitely see it with those two. I did think it was funny that Tracy and Altman on camera by themselves, they were like, "Good job, Bobby!" Like, I'm like, that is so shitty of them, but it was too funny because I mean, Bobby pulled it off,
He did. He
you
did.
know?
And real estate is a cutthroat business. And if that's why you put everything in writing, even if it's somebody, I mean, I mean, if it's your ex, you definitely. I would have had that. Oh, I
One
would have had it inked before you ink with any of the listing people, but ooh, hard lesson learned there for Flag. Ouch.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, he will never co-list with him again, there's
Mm,
absolutely no reason to, and a big burn. He's got enough money, he'll be fine. Um, but yeah, they're definitely bitter. Moving on to the fun part of the episodes, Tracy's new listing that's eco-friendly. I liked it. You liked it,
I
right?
really liked it. I thought it was really fun. I liked all the different, like, Middle Eastern influences and North African influences. I thought those guys did a fantastic job of putting that house together.
I personally thought it was too much. I it was it's too much. I liked the fact that they upcycled everything, meaning they repurposed a lot of stuff. I love the idea of that. I mean, if I could afford to do that, that's wonderful, you know. Um, but it was just too much stuff going on. But the dinner party that she held for $10,000, wow, um, fantastic idea. Bringing artsy people, someone that's going to look at that price tag and realize the value is in what they have put into the house. So very smart on her part.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, bringing in art curators, and these weren't buyers. These were people that are connecting to potential buyers. So smart. She is, I think, one of the best on the show with doing the marketing, reaching target audiences, and really pulling it off. And like, I think to myself, like, that is such a good idea. Like, take some of that. Obviously, I'm not going to do a $10,000 dinner, but just the way she does that
She's
marketing is so clever. And it's like, wow, you could definitely use some of that.
100%. She is an outside the box thinker when it comes to that stuff, and it shows because like you said, these were not buyers for the property. They could potentially be, but she was just trying to spread the word to the other art people in the community and bringing the agents for people that are agents for, the entertainers is what she was saying. So smart. And then on the flip side of things, you have, we have that eco-friendly house. And on the flip side, you have Altman and Heather doing the grandest brokers open I've ever seen. What was it, like $35,000 or something like that spent? I mean, multiple open bars, tons of people, performers, all out, all out.
Yeah. I mean, they were balling. And so was the girl in the pool. She was literally in a ball. So,
Yes, I'm in a glass cage of my own emotion.
it reminds me of the Austin Powers. It's like it's me in a nutshell. Sorry.
We can get kind of stupid. Um, but yeah, they were saying that Heather was taking the reins with that because she's the one that really wanted them to explore Orange County. So she was saying how she went over budget, and they were like, ching, they were adding up all the different expenses that she did. Looked like an amazing party. We'll see if it actually gets it sold. The seller seemed very happy. He seems like a nice person. A little difficult in the fact that he's a little too in your face
Y
with the showings and things of that, like we've seen in the past, but he seems
No,
like a
he
nice
seems
person.
okay, but he was cracking me up. He's like, 3 words, docu-sign, and I was like, "That's 1 word, 3 syllables?" But
Right?
to each their own.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to know that if he, can build a
Exactly.
$20,000,000
Exactly.
house in Orange County. Yeah. He's got people who
Exactly.
docu-sign for him.
Yes.
And then the last house that I wanted to bring up was the old school, old Hollywood, house that Flag was in the listing appointment with the 2 sisters where the mother had passed. I was so impressed with the way that he knew things from the hand painted wallpaper to the maker of the antique faucet person. That's the extent of my knowledge, obviously, the person. But just everything that he knew about it. It's not my style of home, but you can just tell that he is so wrapped up in the old glamour of Hollywood and understands that this is a a relic, but a relic that he feels deserves to be what's the word?
Yes.
Preserved. Yeah.
Yes. He definitely knows his stuff, and boy, does it show. I mean, just walking through and just be like, "Oh, it's this wallpaper, and it's this, and it's that," and he knew all of it right off the top of his head. He's really showing his market expertise there, and, yeah, he said he was on, like, the historic board, so I think preserving some of that old wood Hollywood history is definitely right up his alley, and it seems like the girls were too. They were like, "Look, we're willing to find the right buyer and even take a little less money if that means that they'll preserve this house." So kudos to them to, It's not always all about money, so good on them for realizing that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it isn't always about money. Some people really want the house to go to a certain type of person. And although there's, we can't discriminate, but you can, to try to find a family in this case, it's a family that will love the house as opposed to an investor that's going to come
Exactly.
and bulldoze it,
Yeah,
is what they were
yeah.
talking about. So it's just amazing. He was just very impressive in his knowledge that, like you said, was just off the top of his head. You can tell that
Mhm.
that's his passion and just very, very impressive
Yeah,
there.
he really is.
So our listing of the week was actually sold in 2019 for 20 million. It is Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. They purchased the La Jolla, California landmark home known as the Razor House, like I said, for 20 million. This property was reportedly the inspiration for Tony Stark's mansion in Iron Man. You can see from the photos where it resembles it a little bit. Um, they have since named it Dreamland. Dreamland is the nickname of Alicia Keys' family home, a white concrete jungle where dreams are made of. I tried to not sing that. It took me a long time to not sing it. They filled it with artworks by a Black artist, a fleet of Ferraris, an infinity pool recording studio. In all honesty, we do not have a whole lot of photos of this. They're very private. It was in Architectural Digest. I watched a 12-minute video that was on YouTube that I saw of it. It's a beautiful home. So let's kind of dig into it right away. But nope, there's only one picture of the primary bedroom, no picture of the kids' rooms. This is a photo of them for actual Architectural Digest, just to get an idea. Views of the house. If everyone's familiar with Tony Stark's mansion, I've only seen Iron Man one time, so I'm not extremely familiar with it, but I do know a little bit. But this kind of gives you an idea of where the
Yeah,
inspiration came from.
you can
Pretty
totally
crazy.
see it, 'cause it like that glass little kind of bulge out. It looks and like the kind of the razor edge, so, yeah, you can definitely see, oh, Iron Man in there
Yeah.
flying out of the top.
Right. Right. That infinity pool is just amazing. It's crazy. So this is the front of the house. You can just see all the glass and how there's just views all around inside the house. And then this gives you a aerial shot of the actual two parts of the home, essentially, with the courtyard in the center, a very modern courtyard, but a courtyard nonetheless. It looks like the infinity pool is, the center of like pretty much the center of the house, the focal point. But then when you look at pictures like this of the living room, you can just see, I mean, it's just amazing the views that
Yeah,
they have of the Pacific Ocean. In the video, Swiss Beats, they were both in cream colored wardrobes, and they're really cute actually in the video, just going back and forth in their banter and talking about how they came about this house and different things. But Swiss Beats was saying that he likes everything to be on the neutral side, so that way your imagination can dream up what could be in this space. To me, it's just a very calming house all throughout. But in the video, they're talking about the fact that they are a normal family. They might call it Dreamland, and they call it Dreamland so that their kids will still dream big, but they have the kids' friends over for dinner, and everyone's still, kids are kids. It doesn't matter. So, obviously with the neutral color upholstery,
mhm.
you need to be a little careful. But they can afford to have them cleaned. All very neutral palette throughout the entire house. You'll see the artwork is actually what brings the color into
Right.
the spaces, like right here with the
Yeah.
stairwell is amazing.
I like how
I
the
love it.
stairwell how the line on the floor just extends the stairwell down. I think that's so cool. Like, it curves the way it would it just
Isn't it
extends it all
cool?
the way across the floor, and it's really cool.
It's very cool. It seems like such a simple concept, but we don't see it. So when you see it, put into place, it's pretty just an amazing effect it has on actual architecture. This is the table that they were talking about, and the fact that it needed to be durable. And the interior designer they picked, Swiss Beats, actually found her on Instagram. He instant messaged her. I don't recall her name, so I apologize. And she was like, "Is this a joke? Because I've never spoken with this gentleman." And he said that he had quietly followed her on Instagram for years and just loved her aesthetic and the way that she put things together, and knew when he got Alicia Keys on board to actually purchase this house that she was the person that they wanted to help design it. Apparently, Alicia Keys, he thought she would never come here in a million years because she's such a New York
Yeah,
person.
I mean, can you imagine being that Instagram gal? Like, who is this? Is this Swizz Heats? Like, exactly.
Marcus spam. Blocked. I the only spec I have on this house is that it's 11,000 square feet. I don't have bedrooms. I don't have baths. I did not subscribe to the Architectural Digest. I'm sorry. But it's enough to just look at all the photos, and then of course when something like that's out, you can find other photos as well. You can see where they have a lot of the design elements are an African type of feel. And like I said, all the artists are Black artists. So they are trying to, just bring that culture into their house. It's very nice. Just different elements of it. Even the yellowish couch is still a very neutral
It is.
color.
It is. But the house itself, I mean, it looks like it would actually be comfortable. It doesn't look sterile or hard the way some of the other houses that we see. Like, it looks like kids would sit and eat dinner at that table and sit on the couches and relax and, have really cool spaces. So good on them for making it a home and not just a house.
Agreed. Yeah, and it's funny that you said it because Alicia Keys was saying during the interview, like she was like, it was really important for me to make it feel like a home. Like I want my kids to feel comfortable here. We cook dinner, we're normal. We want it to be, not a
Mhm.
sterile place where they can't play. We want it again, it comes back to that dreamland. They want it, they want people there. They want it to feel inviting. I mean, this room itself, how comfortable does that couch look? That big wraparound cream couch, those leather chairs that are just they look amazing. I mean, everything is very neutral and understated, but done so well. It's all
Yeah,
together, it's pretty
I
amazing.
agree. It really is. I mean, just pick up those pillows and have a giant pillow fight. Not break the shit on the back of the wall, but or
I
the
know.
giant glass window.
Right? So, um, that would be bad, but,
Yeah.
still fun. So, the in the video, she talks about this piano, and then the next photo is a oops, I missed it. My apologies. I had the another close up of the piano. The piano is actually the first piano that she signed her first record deal with. I don't know who she was with. I assume she's with her husband's producing label these days. But the piano is original to when she first became famous. She's teaching her kids how to play on it, and in the video, she actually plays a song. It's
I'm
it's
sure
it's
it's
really nice.
fantastic because she's fantastic. I really
She's
like her. I
fantastic,
have
isn't
for a
she?
long time.
Oops. Yeah,
That
me too.
is a really
I'm sorry
terrible
this photo
photo.
is so small.
Is that like a kid with a soccer ball? Let me get out my magnifying glass.
Yes, this is a terrible photo of a wonderful aerial shot of the kid playing soccer and just the, how you can see through the
There's
house.
the
I'm
piano.
like, "Oh, well, there's the piano. Goodness gracious, what have I done?
Oh,
What have I
wow.
done?"
More terrible
Oh,
pictures.
goodness. All right, I was in a rush. Can you tell I've been busy? I'm still dealing with solar panels, all
Oh,
right?
boy. Well, that looks amazing from far, far away.
Well, for those who can't for those that can't see, this is a very tiny picture of the outdoor all lit up with the fire pit, and if it was larger, you would see it's absolutely stunning.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
well, I will
There's
take an
more
L on this one. This is the only picture we have of the primary. So I think that's the end.
Oh,
Oh no, the
let's
Ferraris. I did want to end with the Ferraris, so I did that
well,
right.
ending on a high note there. Those those look fantastic up
Yes.
close. Um,
They do. They're beautiful. I don't even know how many cars the garage holds,
at
but
least
I do wish those photos were bigger because they were very pretty outdoor
well,
shots.
dang it.
Well, my apologies. I will do better next time. And at least it wasn't a whole crap house like you had last week with the DeChambeau. Oh yeah, and he like was at first in
I
Masters
know,
when I
right?
turned it on.
I saw the leaderboard at the end, and I was like, "Oh, damn it."
I
I
know.
was like, "Wait,
I
that
literally
says
turned it on because I
DeChambeau."
don't pay attention. I turned it on and I was like, "Oh shit, he is playing!" And I literally was like, "That's
I
the name
know.
of our episode."
That's what
Oh
I
wait, he
texted you.
is
I was like, "I think we
playing.
found our name." Like, "Oh, freaking good grief." Well,
Right.
that the listing was very nice, even with the small little tiny baby photos, but it's still a really pretty house.
It's a beautiful house. Beautiful house. And if you want to see more, then
There you
go
go.
to Architectural Digest. Do you want to get
Sure.
on to our tip of the
My
week?
tip of the week is say things in a digestible way. So, what I mean by that is to just keep things simple, especially when you're talking to clients and things like that. It's easy for us to get wrapped up in real estate jargon and, just assume that people know what we're talking about. So just keep things in a very digestible way. My broker said this to me last week, and I thought, I'm going to take that for my tip of the week. She said, Julie, I like the way you always say things in a digestible way. And I was like, well, that's fantastic. I'll put it on my podcast.
Thank you for my tip,
Yes.
broker. That works. But it's true though, because we do get caught up in our own jargon. Every industry has their own jargon. Like, can you imagine if a doctor was talking to you in doctor language only? You wouldn't be understand what they were saying. Now we're not that technical, but just this morning I was trying to explain a process of like the rent back. And before I started, I said, "Do you know what a rent back is?" Not in like a condescending jackass kind of way, just this is the process we would do. Do you know what a rent back is? And just as if they knew it, I didn't
Sure.
want to spend time talking about it. And they're like, "No, we don't know."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Okay, so blah blah blah," and told them. But yes, it is smart to do that. So that's a good tip. That's a good tip because we do get stuck in our own jargon and oh, or I'm gonna give you a CMA and
Right.
I'll do this and I'll do that. And they're like,
Yeah.
"What the hell
Yeah.
are
I
you
said
talking
something
about?"
the other day. I was like, you need a FISBO. And I thought, I doubt they know what that means. So, yeah.
Right.
Not
Exactly. Yeah. Not
digestible.
digestible, Jules. Those words are those words are not yummy. Mine is don't be an asshole. We are all busy this time of year. If I'm calling you or I'm texting you, it's because I need something from you. I don't want to waste my time calling or texting you. So if I'm doing it, just answer my question. For example, I got approved for a showing the other day. Got the showing instructions. They were not included in the listing. They were not included. So I go back to the listing. It doesn't say Century Lock. If it's Century Lock, I know how to get in. It says combo. Well, what's the combo? Call the agent. Doesn't answer. Call the agent again. Doesn't answer. Send a text. No text. How am I supposed to show your property if you're not allowing me the access code? All you do is answer a text or put it in there to begin with. So don't be an asshole. And that's just one example. I mean, there's plenty of examples I can bring up at the moment, but we're all busy. Don't waste anyone's time. Just answer your phone and
Absolutely.
stop being a jackass. The end. End of
Oh, it's
rant.
good. And if you are going to be an asshole, make sure to say it in a digestible way.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. And on that note, I think
Yep,
that's a
and
good
that is
place to
all what
leave
we
it.
have for this week, and we will see everybody next week. As always, be sure to stream on your favorite platform. Catch us on YouTube, our video on YouTube, and be sure to like and subscribe. And oh, If you have any funny stories, tips, tricks that you want us to share, feel free to email at us at realsistersrealestate@gmail.com.